MGM, everyone. Busy morning, busy morning. I mean, Craig, end of the week for us. It's Friday here. Miserable day, not gonna lie. It was nice and sunny yesterday, but today's back to being overcast weather. So it's chilly here. I put a controversial tweet out earlier about having an iced long black in winter. I'm still a big vibe of that, but a lot of people are kind of aligned with me. So GM to you, mate. How's your Friday morning going?
Yeah, man. GM, Greeny, GM, everyone. Yeah, it's going all right, my dude. Yeah, I'm a fan of Ice Long Black.
Love that.
Used to be big into them being into the gym. Everyone liked those. So yeah, big fan even in winter. Yeah, and it is a bit colder, man. I have got the heater on admittedly, even though I'm in a singlet, but it's
So true. I didn't even think about that, eh?
yeah. And then it's also it's pretty gloomy, man. But yeah, few good headlines for today. Hey, I woke up to see abstract got hacked and crypto's pulling back. So yeah, man, a little bit to talk about.
Lots to talk about. Obviously, guys, just be warned that Abstract is obviously hacked. The X account, not sure if they've regained control yet. Let me pull up the tweet, but yeah, it's not like that. There is no live ticker. We all know it's not out for many months, but yeah. So there is no live token. Abstract has been compromised. So just be careful, guys. If you ever see something like that, where they're just like a massive business account like this tweets at CA, it's obviously a hack. Okay, it's obviously a hack. They would never do that. Like they would just never blatantly do a pump fund token, right? So, do be careful out there, guys. You can't be too safe in this crypto land. Now, actually, the other big news too. Hold on, let me pull this up. Here we go. Is there was actually a massive data breach overnight as well. Let me pull that up. Here we go. 16 billion login credentials leaked in the world's largest data breach affecting Apple, Google, Facebook, Telegram, and more. So do make sure you go change your passwords, everybody. So a lot of look, it's so disappointing, man. Like this is like I got hacked 2 months ago now. It just sucks, bro. It just sucks, Craig, that this is the industry. Well, not even the industry. This is the world that we live in. That there's just bad actors, bro, that just are after people's wealth, after people's identity. It just sucks, man. It just sucks.
Yeah, that's a bad one, that one. Like those are big brands, man. Like that's pretty much everyone in the world who's online.
Like that's
like,
data of the world.
I'm in all of those.
Yeah, same, bro.
I have all of those. So it's like, well, fuck, how fucked am I? Like,
well, great.
Also, emails, for people that are using 2FA, if you've got it connected to email or, like there's just a lot goes with having your email fucked with.
Yeah.
Email's the bad one. Like,
yeah,
I don't mind so much the other ones. Email can hurt people pretty bad.
Yeah, no.
So be careful, everyone. That's fucking gnarly, actually.
I'd highly recommend, changing your passwords frequency. Obviously, have 2FA. Probably have an extra layer of security, whether that's like a private key or
an app, your 2FA to your app and stuff.
Yeah, 2FA to your phone or your app or like your facial rec. Like, yeah, you can't be too safe in this day and age, unfortunately, in this industry specifically as well. But yeah, it's what I feel bad is all the people that go after the oldies, Craig, and it just sucks, bro. Like these guys are getting like texts or emails and like the oldies don't know what they're doing. They're like, they saw tech when they were like 60, 50, whatever. And now they're like, oh, what's this? Oh, I just want a giveaway or whatever it is. Oh, Woolworths are giving me a cut, like whatever it is. It's just disappointing that they're the people that actually get affected. Now, I mean, I can go further into this. Like when I was dealing with the police and the lawyers of my scam, Craig, it is like phenomenal how many scams there are, like particularly in Australia, but worldwide, with digital scams. So the really disappointing thing that I heard with the Australian Federal Police is that anything linked to crypto was they were only really preferencing drug-related crime to crypto. That was their more, like they were more concerned about that than someone like me who had been done for fraud or like a scam of funds, right? Where they'd stolen my wallet drain, blah, 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 right? Like it was wild to hear that. I was like, bro, I've lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're telling me that they don't really give a shit about me. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that's unfortunate to hear. And I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I guess them helping you out's not really newsworthy and doesn't justify the tax they take. Whereas if they have a drug bust, they can put that on in the newspaper and justify their wage.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's a shame. It is a shame, and I hope it changes one day, bro. I hope the world changes in the way that, I think, where I guess things like that are handled better.
I mean, like if you look at it too, like I need to get off this.
Got to be careful in case they're listening, right?
No, of course, but I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, well,
the law, but Jesus,
my email, my phone, call me, bro. I'll happily help out my situation, like happily.
Yeah, man, you just like to get heard, and I guess just for your sake, you just want to feel like they're on your side, right? You're like, aren't we on the same team, guys? Like, let's fix stuff, but too hard basket for them, eh? Just a crypto bro. They don't like. I can only imagine the chats they have.
I know, dude. I know. Like I went into the cop station and they're like, oh, like he's like I can't send you this sort of stuff, but I can sort of talk you through like what I've found with like the scammers and linked wallets and all the mixers and shit that they use. And I was like looking through it and whatnot. He's like, bro, how do you even like understand this? I was like, oh my God, it's like a different language, crypto, still to a lot of people out there.
You were showing them that.
No, they showed me because they had like they could. So the way that it works, right, is two general ways that you can go about it, right? Is you go down the lawyer sort of route and you get like court orders. The trouble with like scams in crypto is that they're international and there's no jurisdictions that you have to answer to, obviously outside of your own country. So for someone like me, unless it was in-house, then we really are going to struggle if we went down the lawyer route. And I could have spent like tens of thousands of dollars getting a court order, getting these people to find the funds and which exchanges they went to, filing letters, getting those letters to be court orders to those exchanges, because then the exchanges, because they're not jurisdicted in Australia, they don't necessarily have to come back and give us the information anyway. So I could spend, say, 50,000 Australian dollars just to get all this stuff sorted, and they might not even give me any data or information or the funds back sort of thing. So it was really a net negative loss, and massive shout out to the lawyer I was dealing with. She was a legend down in Melbourne. And quite reputable for blockchain sort of scams and lawyer, I suppose, side of things. So if anyone ever needs a lawyer that's top class, I can recommend one. But yeah, so she was great, but she's like, look, honestly, Greenie, it's probably not worth it. You might as well use that extra 10 to 50 grand to probably go and trade again and try and make it back, right, of the scam. And then the second route is actually the police, right? And so the police obviously have far more of a say. If it's coming from obviously federal levels and they do obviously go to these exchanges, then I think like logistically they have to actually give the data back and give that information. Now, the biggest thing and the biggest issue in Australia is that it is so hard to get to the AFP. So I've been dealing with the local police. So people in Queensland, so the Queensland police, right? And so they're like, look, I can try, like if it's Queensland related, I can help. If it's Australia related, I can kind of delegate it and get people onto it. But if it's not, then there's not much I can do. I was like, bro, is there any way you can help me with the AFP? And he's like, not really. Like it's a completely separated entity, all this sort of stuff. I was like, this is so backwards. And like I filled out a crime report, all this cyber crime, whatever it is. And sure enough, it was only the local guy that got back to me. I was like, look, at least someone got back to me. But it's just disappointing that there's not like, I think Australia is so backwards with a lot of things. Like, look at the educational system. Like, we need to shift the model. Like, I was a teacher for 5 years. Like, the model of education was based out of the Industrial Revolution, right? And where you just learnt processes, you learnt regurgitation of information. That literally doesn't even apply to 90% of the jobs out there today, right? Like it's so, I think Australia needs a big shift in everything. And I know we're heavily pegged to countries like China, the US and whatnot, but we need to start painting our own road, Craig. I don't know. This is this show's so good. We talk about like different topics, but I think it's coming from me, like as someone who's been part of that industry and whatnot, I think there needs to be a lot of change.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, education system, we can go down a pretty long rabbit hole there, dude. But I guess, hopefully the police stuff sort of catches up to blockchain. It seems like it's a long way away, doesn't it?
Honestly, yes.
Decades away.
Honestly, yes.
I don't think we'll be trading by the time. I think they. I hope we're. Yeah. Whatever. I love trading, so I'll probably always do it, but. I mean, I think their resources will be more heavily in line with them collecting tax. and enforcing people to pay that.
That's so true.
Because that's money in their pockets versus them chasing that for you. That doesn't put money in their pocket.
Exactly. Like resources wise, time wise, why would they try and help international scam unless it obviously affects like drugs in Australia? Because drugs in Australia is a massive issue. Or the import of drugs and then the use of drugs. The tax side is so much easier for them. They're like, oh, you made money in crypto, you owe me tax. You owe me tax. Okay. Oh, you have a wallet from 5 years ago, you owe me tax. And I'll audit you to make sure you're giving me the right tax. Like they'll do that. Like I remember, again, a previous accountant I was with was doing multiple audits, which I was always like, not sure about that. But anyways, the interesting part was that they were only doing audits from like last cycle. And this was like last year. So I was like, they're still 3 or 4 years behind, at least in our country, with the audits of cryptocurrency or like those big businesses and stuff as well. So honestly, if you like, it pays to have a good tax accountant and obviously a good crypto accountant. So I have two. Like massive shout out to both of those lads. They're absolutely legends. They're doing everything by the book, everything legal. Sure, it might be a little bit more expensive, but Craig, it makes me rest easy at night knowing that if I do happen to get audited, I can just go, look, it's all done. It's all legal. It's all done. Okay. Any issue? I don't think we have one.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, especially when it's large amounts of money. And it's not like you can just, like, if you get a tax bill for, say, it's the sort of amount you can't just scrounge around and find down the back of a couch.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Like, it's all right if it's like a couple of grand and you try to run the gauntlet, I suppose, and it gets caught up with you. You're like, fuck, all right, here's your grand or two. But if it's 100 grand or something, or even just 20 or 30, like,
it's like, where are you getting that money from?
Yeah, so no, I agree with you. Best to keep that as clean as you can from the start.
Yeah. So no, I highly recommend a good accountant, guys. GM to everyone who's tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Friday morning here in Australia, Thursday night around the rest of the world. I mean, the market's correcting here, Craig. Like we discussed all week, I think this is probably what's going to happen. Is we're probably going to chop for a while here. I don't really see any sort of change in catalyst, at least in the immediate future. So it's probably a good time to learn some new trading skills, a good time to explore some new opportunities and all those sorts of things. This is the ETH chart. So ETH has been going like in this range since the 9th of May. So we are currently at a 41-day range. And I generally don't think this could shift. I mean, it's a 20% range, so you can still swing trade this like along the bottoms, and short the tops until the range does break. So big FVG here still for ETH. So I'm keeping an eye on it. Have you bought anything yet, Craig? BTC's at 104. Hyperliquid's down below 37, guys. I made a tweet last night, Craig, saying if it cracks this line, we could easily reach 27 to 31. So keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying anything at the moment because it's just, well, I did. I bought Pingu the other day, like I said. So I guess I did, but not a lot. I need it lower before I start entering. So I'm not entering on these sort of, well, I mean, for other people, they might not feel shallow, but for me, they feel shallow. So I kind of feel I'm in a good position, man. Like taking a fair chunk of stables out at all-time highs has really allowed me.
You've nailed it.
It's quite a weird feeling, and I almost feel like I must be so boring on stream, like saying what I say, because people must be like, yeah, sweet dude, good for you, but like, what do I do to get out of the ship? But it's kind of a lesson in entry as well, because your exits don't get to be good if your entries aren't good. Like, it's like the chicken and the egg, isn't it? The only reason I'm in this position is because my entries were good. So I got to exit with good profit at all-time highs. And now I get to do, I guess, what the best seat in the house is. I'm the boss. Or the captain, because I've got the money. The market doesn't have all my money, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's something that's taken me a long time to master, bro. And I'm not near, like, that's the thing with trading. You never master it, but it's a journey. But I'm pretty proud that I'm in the position to say I want lower. Like, whereas last cycle in this position, I would have been like, I remember last cycle when this happened, the only way I felt in control was just to DCA more. But the problem I felt was when it went from May to October is I DCA'd on 10% pullbacks, but they kept coming.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned back then that meme was like, that one with the gun where, you thought that was the dip, and then there's the guy with the gun behind that. But that meme?
Yeah.
You learn that one because, you see the market pull back, it pulls back 10% on Solana or something, or 15, like, the world's ending. Yeah. This must be the lowest it can go, and you put in whatever. And you put in half maybe your dry powder that's sidelined, and then it dips another 10, and you're like, okay, I'm going to put all in now.
Yeah.
And then it goes another 20, and you're like, fuck, like you're so underwater at that point. That's where you get trapped, and you almost feel like you're drowning, because the market makes you make a decision then, and it says to you, all right, is this going to bounce back or not? And you're like, shit, do I take this, what feels safer, and sell out now to 20% haircut? And then the market's going to pump at some point, and then you try to get back in, or do you just wait, hope that it bounces? It's a pretty horrible position to be in. And I know a lot of people are probably feeling like that. So I understand. And I would probably say, just remember this for next time, just to make sure you're patient on entries, because then pullbacks probably won't feel so bad. And also make sure you take profit, greenies, probably the big takeaway at all-time highs.
Literally,
like, taking profit. This probably doesn't feel too bad.
Literally, taking profit at all-time highs, Craig, is a no-brainer. / you're
probably number one. Yeah, like for me, or even better, what you say, buy fear, sell greed, bro.
Buy fear, sell greed. Yeah. So I mean, I de-risked some of my hyperliquid the other day as soon as it sort of broke that structure as well. I'm sitting predominantly in stables. Like I think that's still a no-brainer play at this point in time. Like if we do go lower, amazing. If we don't go lower, okay, so be it. Like pretty happy with that. So yeah, look, it's an interesting time. Like we said, like Craig, I think you've absolutely nailed it this cycle. A lot of people, I'm going to say 95% of people will never, ever get to the stage that you're at, where you ignore the noise, you ignore the insider greed of you, where you're going, no, this could go to 200K. Ethereum could go to 10K. Solana could go to $500. Like, you ignore that. You look at simple TA, you look at simple euphoria on the timeline, you look at the fear and greed index, you look at, oh shit, this is at an all-time high. I'm going to take some profit off the table here. Yeah, that's a smart investor play, smart trader, and that's why we appeal as we do, Craig. And that's why this show has been so successful for so long, because we keep it transparent. We actually tell you when to sell. Not that it's financial advice, but that's what we're doing, okay? And that's why people like it. So I agree. I think for me, we took a long, obviously, at the 618 here. On Pengu. I mean, I like I said to Eli yesterday, I said, mate, you'll probably get another good opportunity here. You just need to stay patient, because he wanted to buy this. Like, he wanted to buy this breakout, and it's like down like 4%. I was like, bro, just like chill out, be patient. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, this could go sideways for the next 2 weeks, and then we might get a resolution of either going down further or going up. Like, time, Craig. Time is the big one. And I mean, I always just run it back. I literally run it back to this chart from BTC last year, where we went sideways for how long? 6 months or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. About half a year.
If you can't deal with this, you honestly probably shouldn't be in crypto. If you can't deal with price going sideways, or better, you can't deal with, like, if you are emotionally attached to green going up and going, oh yes. Or if red is going down, you're like, shit.
Yeah, those are not feelings you should. Actually, going up, I do feel, but yeah, they're going down.
Don't get me wrong. You're always going to feel a bit happy. But if it is utter joy, you're running to your partner, you're running to your family, going, yes. Okay, you've got over allocation. You're overexposed to probably the volatile aspects of this market. Take some profit out, de-risk, okay? And just sit there and learn to deal with the volatility that is crypto, okay? There is a reason we're all in crypto, right? Because it has volatility. It's far better. It's not manipulated by TradFi, okay? It's far better for us consistently to get in, okay? Buy low, sell high, okay? But so many people, literally so many people, Craig, they sell during red and they buy during green. They see a big green candle and they go, yeah, I got to get in on that. And then they see a big red candle, like, oh no, I got to get out of that. And then it should be literally the opposite. Literally the opposite is the strategy.
Yeah, and it chops you up like that. So, yeah, another good thing I learned was not exiting a position and then looking to immediately enter. Mm-hmm. And that's something I used to do in 21. In other words, what I'm saying is I always wanted my money in the market working because I felt like the more money I had in the market, in my head, I'd be like, if that just 2Xs, that's heaps, right? But it doesn't quite work like that. So that's one thing I learned was you exit tops and then you wait for bottoms to enter rather than consistently be rotating your bags where you just get chopped up in times like that. Because unfortunately, entering and exiting, it's tough to do at tops and bottoms. So if that's your strat, you're straight away making life quite tricky. Because that's probably like 0.011 or 0.01% of traders can probably do it. Yeah. And then you're saying to yourself, I'm that. It's like, you're probably not. I mean, if you are, fantastic, but I would say make life easier and sell all-time highs and buy lows. It's, Bitcoin, for example, for new people that are watching, I'd probably trade Bitcoin, man. And I know that's not a sexy answer for people because it doesn't have the volatility that it still does though. I think people just maybe prefer the higher volatility swings sometimes, but
of course,
I think Bitcoin, interesting one that I always bring up is people sort of are like, oh, this bull market has sucked, which I disagree with. And they're like, oh, hardly anything's gone up. But then I'm like, or people saying, oh, I don't even know if we're in a bull run. It's like, bro,
I don't know where do they get that from, Greg?
I see it quite a bit. And I'm like, Bitcoin's up 7x off the lows, bro. In 2 years, it's up 700%. That's outrageous. Like in TradFi. It was 16. It's gone from 16K to 111K. Like that's a bull market, lads. Like, what if that's a bear market? Then you think in the bull market Bitcoin does 100x? Like it's done a 7x.
People just
fuck more than a 7x.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
And I heard that a lot. Right, the bull market when's it coming? I'm like, I don't know. Have you guys been in a coma? Like. I don't know. I think we've been in a bull market. Greenie, are we in a bull market?
Craig, I called the bull market in September 2023. So for me, the bull market for me starts when price changes its structure. Okay, so it's not the low here. So that is still bear market. And we started to see a higher high here, right? Yeah. So this is March 23. So
what was the price there, Greenie?
Yeah, this is about 23K.
I remember it so well, that level, bro. I was still too much of a coward to enter there. That's why I remember it so well.
Yeah.
I remember that being an important level, but I entered on the next candle up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was going to say, right? So we're still in a downtrend here, okay? We start to see a higher high. And what I mean by higher high is that, oh, dude, I can't draw. Hold on.
I'm terrible on that.
For high time frames, it just doesn't work for some reason. I'll make it really clear. So that is a higher high, right? Where price here was the previous high. Like you could use the wick or the body of the candles, either works, okay? And then we start to put a higher high here from this high over here, okay? So this is a high, that's a high, that's a high. Technically, that could be a high there. This is a high here, this is a high, that's a high as well. So that's 3 back-to-back highs. What I was watching for and why I literally called, like, bang, right there. 1st of September 23. Go look at any of my tweets from that time. This is when I had, like, I don't even know, 4,000 followers. I said, guys, the bull market is starting right now. The reason for it is because we set that higher low, Craig. We have a low and we had a higher low. And I said that is a shift on a structure change in price and a change in trend. Thus, this high low is when the bull market started for me. Okay. And if you go and have a look, okay, Solana is legit the same. Okay, so here, okay, where was it? 1st of September, bang. Yeah. 1st of October, we were off to the races. Literally the same. So I know this chart's a bit messy now, but let me clean it up a little bit. If we have a look at that, like, Craig, this was literally, like, look at that. The candle, 1st of October, bang. You missed it. You literally, this is the last of accumulation period here. Higher, low, higher, low. Okay, another higher low there. Okay, so again, low, higher, low, higher, low. 3 higher lows in a row. this period here. I remember drawing it, Craig. I really want to run back my old tweets just to show people that I'm not mucking around here. Like I had this structure, and I'll show you how I drew. Okay, I had all kind of equal tops, well, not necessarily equal tops, but this was our resistance. Okay, we had rejection from here on lower time frames. Again, if you start to dive in on lower time frames, I believe we had, it was kind of rejection from that level, even with these wicks, and we had higher lows starting to form from these lows. Okay, and I remember the day Solana went back down to $17, and I said, okay, I'm buying this low here, 1786 to September 13, pretty much around the same time that GTG started. I said, guys, I'm adding a shit ton of Solana at this level. Okay, we have 3 high lows now. Okay, and we're grinding up here, and I said, okay, this is an accumulation. It's pretty clear this is accumulation. Okay, because we're starting to put in higher lows, rounding bottom. Okay, really, like if you zoom out, like I showed you before, the bottom on BTC was really oscillating sideways. That shows, okay, momentum is, the sellers are exhausted. Okay, so therefore, what does that mean? Okay, well, buyers are going to start stepping in soon, and they're going to shift the momentum. And sure enough, look at this. Like you could have made so much money from that low, I suppose, from that low, but like, yeah, we were printing money within like the first 3 months. So that's like, I love bear markets crazy. And I know me and you, we speak about this often. Like
seeing that chart is just like, oh man, I actually can't wait to get back into the bear market for setups like that. It's so much easier than this stage of the bull.
I'm going to say 2 things. I like bear markets, and I also like mid bull cycles.
Yeah.
Where you have, and you can look at BTC and Sol literally have this same structure.
Yeah, that move there, the crab sideways.
Yeah.
The thing for people to realize is that was such a blessing in hindsight, because look how many entries it gave you, bro.
Yeah.
There were so many entries on, this is Solana, but Bitcoin as well, probably on a lot of coins. During that time when Bitcoin was pinballing like that, there was, 7 months or whatever, it was longer, where
250 days.
250 days where you could buy the bottom of the range. And I remember buying those bottom of the ranges over and over again. Man, that ended up being a good trade, bro. Like it ended up being a really easy, pretty stress-free trade too, man. Like, and just to get so many taps, like what was it, maybe 5 entries along the bottom of that on the higher time frame.
Yeah.
Man, I just remember taking slices out the cake, and then when it broke out, you're like, let's fucking go, man. Like it's just that's a nice trade feeling, because it's such a long time frame that when those pop. But that's what I was speaking on the chat with you yesterday on the stream, where I said the higher time frame moves or zoomed out like that are much bigger trades, because the once they go, the price appreciation is just so much greater than trading on the lower time frame, shorter, 15-minute charts, because then the upward movement is only 10%.
Couple percent. Sometimes,
sometimes 5% too if you're Ethereum. But like if you timed that crab sideways to the pump from 74 to 111, I know that's not as big as people are perhaps chasing, but if you swing bigger, bro, those are nice trades, right? Those are good. And then,
exactly. If you're lucky to have $10,000 or more, literally, people still comment, Craig. Like people still comment, hey Greenie, if I have like $5,000 or I have $10,000, should I own Bitcoin? I'm like, probably. Have like 10% of your portfolio in BTC. Okay, rotate profits into that, build that wealth over time. Now, if you do have a larger amount of money, like, and I'm not even larger, like if you have 10 grand, right, you can still move like some of the best trades, and you will out trade a lot of people out there, because they'll get done for over trading. They'll get done on tax season, whatever it is. If you just buy on big dips like this, like Craig said, that is a 2x move. Like, okay, when else are you going to make 10 grand? Say you had 10 grand, you allocated to BTC at 50K. When else are you going to make 10 grand in 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like it seems like a long time, but it kind of does. But looking back, it really wasn't. But the emotions at the time make it.
I know, and I think the whole CT issue is that people are getting rich on meme coins. I promise you, it's a minority. It is an absolute minority, and generally, if they are, they're manipulating it in one way or another. Okay, they've got a public Telegram, they got their wallet doxed, or not docs, but public. Okay, they've got people copying them, whatever it is. Okay, they're on live calls with 50 people, and they're all trying to trade the same memes. Okay, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Generally, they are the people that have won over time. Okay, and if you followed us all this cycle, we have taught you how to trade. That's been the feature of the whole brand of Greenie and Craig and whatnot. So I think a lot of people just need to remember that the rate that you're trying to beat every year is literally 8%. That is the going rate for the S&P. The ASX is around that, maybe slightly higher, actually, I think it might be. But if you can get 10% or more on your money per year, you are beating what do they call that, Craig? You are beating I can't remember the term. Like it's how like a hedge fund compares itself to. I can't remember the term right now. The standard price. I can't remember.
I'm not actually sure.
So it's like, yeah, the market rate. What is it, chat? Someone let me know. But like you're beating what the standard rate is of return over time. It's that 8%, and that's what it is. So again, inflation, you need to add that to it as well. So say inflation goes up by 5%. Okay, well, you'd probably need to try and make 13% a year, right? So that's the thing too that they don't take into consideration with like the S&P 500 and whatnot as well. So like if you're making more than 15% a year, you are winning. You are beating 90% of the people on this earth. Zoom out like that. I think a lot of people need to change their perspective, Craig. A lot of people need to change their perspective.
Yeah, and I think probably a good idea to trade on a longer term time frame. What I mean by that is like set yourself a goal of maybe 3, 5, and 10 years rather than 1 month or 1 week. You won't push yourself into moves so rapidly, and you'll be more deliberate in your trades, and probably limit your amount of trades as well is probably a good idea. Try and cut your trades down, because I dare say probably most people overtrade. Probably better to trade less and be more deliberate or or fussier. Set your standards higher. I don't know if that's a good way to say it, but set your standards of trades better. What I mean by that is try and enter trades with a very good risk reward ratio is probably what I'm saying. So that's what I try and look at a lot now. I know you're big on that with your leverage trading, but I do it even with spot. You at least consider it, and you're like, what's your downside risk? What's your upside risk? And if the upside's high enough and the low is not that big, then go for it and take bigger swings.
Yeah. So Wealth Creator says benchmark. That's the word I was looking for. It's the benchmark. Yeah. And then Googly comes in as well, or Googly. It comes in and says beating the market is actually the thing. So it's benchmark is the level, right? And then you're trying to beat the market. The two. Hey, lads, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's why chat's good. That's why chat's good, because I fumble my words. I'm not that good sometimes with my words. So, I mean, if we do take a look at BTC on lower timeframes, because a lot of people do like to see that, we're ranging, Craig. We are literally crabbing, as you say, sideways. So like the range for me probably is like here. Okay, that's the low from this first low. We deviated below it. Technically, I'm going to say the top of the range is actually this high here. So I'm going to remove this chart and move it back down to 110. Okay, because that is a level on the daily we have managed to close above a couple times. Actually, no, sorry. We have 1 daily closure above that level. 2 daily closures. Yeah, 2 daily closures above that level. Otherwise, this still acts as resistance. Okay, deviation. So, and then literally a retest a couple of days ago where you could have maybe looked for a short. But so this is therefore a range for me. Bottom here, top there. Technically, you could say nearly. We've probably, like, the range could be slightly higher as well, but I'm going to use that full range here. Now, that's the mini range. The big range is from 74K to 110. That is our big range. So as I've been saying for a while, Craig, like the 93K, I would love it. Give me 93, which on this actually, no, because I went to the high. But like say if you go to the high, there, 93. So if we go to 0.5, which now this aligns in several ways. Okay, this is the order block here where we spent a bit of time as well. Okay. It nearly aligns with the bottom that we spent all of the sort of end of 2024 and into the start of 2025. And it's the 0.5 of the fib from the swing low at 74K to the high of 112, right, is 93. So I think I will be backing up the truck to BTC if we get a 93 to 97 retest. I think that's an opportunity. Now, if we come down, so again, first we would have to sort of break this lower time frame structure. So again, I will short. So say we see weakness, okay, we come down, we actually retest this. I'll probably short this back towards this sort of region. Right now, I'm in no real trades, I think, on this. Oh, no, it might be in a long from lower, but we'll see. I haven't checked. But right now, that's the first trade is I would look for a short, or I'd look for a long at the bottom as well. So you'd be watching low timeframes. Okay, are we going to bounce from 103, which is the 236 level, which we have bounced multiple times already? Okay, so we have respected the 236 fib as well at 103. So we'll potentially long off there. Okay, deviation below, watch lower time frames, see if we get that higher low again. Okay, and look for a long with your stop loss below there, targeting back towards the high. Or alternatively, you're looking for a swing off the bottom of the range at 100K, which we have hit 2 times already. If we can't hold that, then yeah, we'll go down probably lower. So we'd be looking for a short off those regions as well. Kind of same to this structure here, right? When we lost that low here, okay, that was pretty much like, yeah, you could have short, like, look at that. Like, as soon as we lost that, we went down 15%. So even on 10X, that's a 150% move. So lots of opportunity there. But outside that, not really looking to trade. The other alternative would be, yeah, if we do push up here, I'd probably look for another short from here, stop loss above there. And yeah, look at what price is doing on lower timeframes to see. So they're the kind of shorts and longs that I'm looking at. But if not, Craig, I'll be buying spot. I'm still buying spot every day. Actually, I'm buying $25 of BTC every day. If we go below $100, 100,000, I'll probably buy $50 every day.
Yeah.
I know it's not a lot, but hey, I think that's still $8,000 a year. I worked out the other night. It's like $25 a day is $8,000 a year allocating to BTC. So happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good strat.
Now, ETH is similar as BTC. We spoke about it earlier in the show, but we're ranging, crabbing sideways. Again, watch the low here for potential long off that back towards the range high. Same again if we pump. Okay, deviation multiple times / rejection 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, so again, if we get up here, I will short that. If we get down to the bottom, I maybe will look for a long because this is technically a massive macro support that we've been holding for a long time, this red line down the bottom. Now, if we can't hold that, okay, if I get stopped out on the long and we start to break, if we do get a retest of this, okay, I'll probably look for a short and I'd be shorting back towards this massive weekly and daily, I suppose, FVG that we have. It's maybe more of a 3-day. Yeah, it's a 3-day FVG. So fair value gap where price hasn't traded. So price hasn't traded between 1,870 and 2,315 since it did this big rally. So for me, ETH could easily go back down to 2.1. So that's still a really nice short back towards, yeah, that's a 12% move. So I don't know, Craig, there's possibilities out here. I personally would prefer to see ETH kind of hold this range, right? Because then that would kind of show us a little bit of structure break again with these higher lows. However, we can come down and set a higher low here once again, and that would be still maintaining bullish structure. Then perhaps this macro sort of support that we've been holding and bouncing from recently will no longer kind of be applied. You could probably start to look more horizontally for levels. Like, again, like, look at this. Like, this is a massive level that we are coming into, okay? Like, from time, like, literally all cycle 24, start of 24, all throughout 2024, end of 2024. So big level for ETH to hold is this kind of level, Craig. So we're keeping an eye on that. I mean, you could even throw, oh my God, you can literally throw this all the way back to last cycle nearly, where we bounced from that level. So this is a big range for ETH right now if we hold this level. So yeah, really interesting take. Are you interested in ETH at all, Craig?
Not really, not spot. No, like I've got my Pudgy, so that's kind of, yeah, that's kind of my ETH play, my Pudgy and my little Pudgy. I'm not so interested. The chart, it doesn't scream buy, does it? It's a risky looking chart to me. Not to say I think ETH may be okay, but yeah, it's not screaming buy spot to me. But I don't know, man. What's your thoughts? Like, I'm not going out of my way to buy Ethereum, really.
Nah, like you say, like, I've got abstract exposure. Yeah. I've got my little Pudgy, I got a big Pudgy, and then I have like liquid ETH as well. So like on the abstract. So it's like, yeah, look, I have plenty of exposure on ETH that I'm kind of like, I don't need to worry about this too much. So yeah, look, I'm more interested in probably other opportunities, whether that's going heavier into BTC like we discussed or some other potential plays. So a few people have asked in the chat, and let's bring it up now. Hyperliquid has lost macro support, at least at this stage. So how do you draw that? You draw it from the lows. So pretty much, I mean, wow, you could actually draw it all the way back to here nearly. So not quite, but yeah, anyways, what you're looking at is a breakout. I know I had someone comment that on my Twitter post about it. They're like, oh, Hyper's never gone down. I was like, bro, what? It went down from December to April. I don't know. People are weird. Anyways, we then broke out. We've had higher lows, higher highs. So high, 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 low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Still a higher low, but we are starting to break this structure. So potentially we could come back down to $31 to $27 first. If not $23, I think Hype at 23, if we do get back to that golden fib, so 618, with this order block here, probably a really easy 2x trade back to the high. Really easy 2x trade back to the high. This kind of reminds me of Solana, actually, Craig. If you look, this is exactly how Solana did. It consolidated, broke out high, now broke its macro trend, and now it's attempting to get back up to this region again. So I think opportunities here on Hyperliquid, if we do see a little bit lower, nothing's changed in a thesis perspective. I just think obviously price and people are selling off. There's war happening. Maybe people are de-risking, et cetera, et cetera. We're chopping sideways, try 5-step away over the summer. There's a lot of catalysts, right? Rates haven't come down yet. So people are like, shit, like we're not quite there. So there's a few things that we're kind of still staying patient on. So this is pretty much what Solana did, right? Crab sideways, broke out really strongly, then broke its macro support. So this macro support was like there, I think. It broke this. Okay, now it's consolidating, and then it set this high low. So I want to see, it's kind of similar chart to where Hyperliquid is, I suppose, at the time. So yeah, just staying patient, Craig. I think if you can exercise a bit of patience now, wait for good entries. If you want to scout potential trades, go for it. Just remember to use high time frame bias. So for example, actually, like if we look at this is a 4-hour chart on Hyperliquid. I might like that was a bearish retest there. So we had a big green candle. We failed to close back above that level. So this could actually be a really nice potential short here. Again, I haven't looked at momentum, so I want to see. No, 4 hours bottoming, so we could rally a little bit higher here. But if we do start to see this go back towards, say, $38, could be worth a short, Craig. Could be worth a short. And a lot of people forget you can make money both ways in a market. You can make money both ways in a market. Put your stop loss above the high, okay, and you're sort of targeting back towards the 382 for a really nice 3.6. Again, I'm just like, this is hearsay. I want to see what happens with price. But I mean, if we do have a look at momentum indicators, 4 hours bottomed, 12 hours coming down, so pressure to the downside. 1 day is very much coming down. 3 day, very much coming down. 5 day, very much coming down. You're getting the hint here. Weekly, very much topping. What does that mean? More than likely, we might push up one more time on the 4 hour here, back towards that level. And then that might be really good multi-day, multi-week short opportunity.
Yeah, that looks good, actually. That looks quite good. Yeah, that chart, I'd be looking to buy spot towards the lows there. So I'll wait for that to break down. That's probably a good shout. That's probably one of the other ones I'd like to get into, Hype, actually. So I've been waiting patiently for this to eat shit. So
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. But looks like she's coming down. I don't think price will hold up. If Bitcoin crabs sideways or pulls back even slightly, these will
dump a bit. Yeah, dumbola. And I mean, a lot of people are like, wait, why is Hyperliquid down the most? Why is SPX down the most? It's because they've pumped the most.
Yeah.
So again, we've been mentioning SPX for a while here since PO mentioned it to us, but like rejection from the high. So same very structure to BTC, consolidation now. We likely consolidate back towards $1, I reckon, in my opinion, in the foreseeable future. So yeah, guys, just staying patient. I mean, there's not much else I wanted to cover today, Craig. I mean, I do need to go run back a GTG stream because I didn't get a chance to do it this morning. Anything else we want to talk about today?
No, unfortunately or fortunately, it's just steady as she goes. So yeah, you've run it through quite nicely there. Just be patient on entries. This is the time in the market where it could be a bit boring, a bit scary, but there's opportunities here that if you get good entries, you'll be euphoric, I think, in Q4. So I think patience is required, guys. Just hang in there. I think don't let the market scare you away during this period. This is probably the time to focus more. And you can focus a lot less on the pump because there's less to do. So I would say get busy now so you don't have to get busy later when it starts pumping, because when it starts pumping, you're not going to have time to...
You're too late, yeah.
You're too late. So
you're too late.
I would say now, guys, is the time to start really locking in, not when it's hot, now. And hopefully we can all brag and talk about how well we did into Q4. You know, so the more the merrier on that bandwagon with us, Greenie.
Yeah, agreed. So, guys, I have just shilled the GC Crypto TV. That's our show name. That's our username on Twitter. So please go follow that account. That's where we'll be posting a lot more as we start to grow. And that's where you can catch all the replays as well. If you're Twitter native, if you are a YouTube native, you can obviously go to our personal YouTubes and watch back any replay, any live stream we've had, whether it's PO, Easy, Dith a few weeks ago, Alyssa last week as well. We've had a lot of people, Scarly on the show. heaps of people on the show. So guys, don't forget, you can go tune in and watch that at any time. So yeah, Craig, I mean, a smaller show today, but I mean, yeah, as you said, there's not much really to talk about today. Obviously, if you are tuning in just now, guys, Abstract X account was hacked. I don't know if it has been fixed yet, so do keep an eye on Finn and the team to wait and see once it obviously has been approved. Outside that, yeah, have a lovely weekend. I think just stay patient. I think, again, mark out key levels, look at the momentum, and as I just showed you on Hype, pretty much all high time frames above 12 hours are saying lower. So yeah, look, preference high time frames always when you're looking for low time frame trades. That's literally the secret sauce, and I think we'll get some good opportunities. Whether it is just sideways and we show strength and hold key levels, then okay, sick. I'm happily buy strength that way. If we do see price go lower, amazing. I'm ready to buy. I've got liquid cash there, ready to rumble, Craig.
Same as me. Yeah, no, I'm ready to buy. Actually, I'm in a buying mood, so hopefully it pulls back a little bit. Give me, like you said, probably 93 Bitcoin, which is the 50%. That would be, yeah, I'll be licking my chops then, Greeny. So that's when you'll see me a bit more euphoric at Bitcoin at 93.
Do you buy altcoins there, Craig, too?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably buy. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, man. Like the stronger ones, I'd look for entries on the strong ones. I'm not gonna go into too many alts personally. But yeah, Hyperliquid, like we've spoken about, it's pretty high on my radar now. So I'll be looking for an entry there. If Bitcoin goes to 93, yeah, I'll be looking. Look, it depends on the structure of the other charts. But yes, probably. Yeah, probably. So. Yeah, I think we've got probably a few. I don't know how long we've got of this sort of momentum, but yeah, everyone just be patient, guys. It's not going to be super exciting, but the exciting part will be the entries you get now will pay off later, I think. So, yeah, no, good show. I think we've covered everything. I'm almost glad that it's not too busy at the moment, and we had a good week, Greeny. That was a good week of streams. So. Make sure you give us a follow, guys. And we are back, Sunday for the Americans in the room. Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. We will be back. And hopefully the market's got something sexy for us and not just hacks and gossip.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said, Craig. And guys, go follow the GC Crypto page. That is our new show name. GC Crypto TV is the username over on X. But yeah, if you want to follow us as well, Greeny Trades and Craig's Coin Purse on all socials, and you can give us some support. Yeah, look, well said. I think everyone should have a relaxing weekend. Like, don't feel the need to press buttons. Last weekend, we literally, I don't even know, the chart literally did nothing all weekend. So don't feel like you're missing out. Sometimes the best trade, majority of the time, the best trade is actually no trade at all. So I'm going to go jump in with GTG very shortly and look for some more lower time frame scalp trades potentially that could turn into swing trades. We'll see. But yeah, have a lovely weekend, Craig, and keen to be back next week.
See you, everyone. Have a great weekend. See you, Guinea.
Thanks, chat. See you all next week. Cheers.